We have talked about how it is a challenge for students to find ideas so that you can place a square into a half circle or a square into a circle center. They actually do get a lot of respect for getting ideas when they have tried themselves how difficult this is to get the right idea. And when you're told the right idea, it's very easy to understand actually. But this is a good background for going further with teaching trigonometry, because now you can tell the students about Aristarch. Aristarch was the first person that we know about who thought in a trigonometric way. And Aristarch was sure that the sun actually was a ball of fire. It was not a dragon drawn on the sky with a god in it. And he also thought, okay, if the sun is a ball of fire shining, then the moon actually is also a ball, but it is not shining. The moon just reflects the light of the sun. And then he could think about, what does that actually mean when we are having a half moon? And I asked the students that question. Must sun, moon and earth be placed to one another to get this half moon? And we together discovered this. That if you will see a half moon, it is actually possible when you have a triangle like this, with 90 degrees here, and here you have the sun, and here you have the earth. And this is the moon. And then I tell the students that Aristarch actually realized this, and then he wanted to go home to his piece of paper and draw a triangle which is similar to this one, to find out something about the distances between those moon, earth and sun. And I asked the students, do we have enough information for doing this? And they say, well, he needs some distances. And we say, okay, this one distance we will call 1 ME. It is 1 moon-earth distance. And do he need anything more? Well, it would be very nice if he had this distance, but he hasn't. Then students say, well, he could also need some angles. Yes, he could. And as a matter of fact, Aristarch did the best he could and measured this angle, and he did find out it was 87 degrees. So he went home and he draw now a triangle to those information. So he said, okay, here I have 1 unit, 1 moon-earth unit, and then I measure 87 degrees. And I ask the students to construct this triangle as exact as they can. So here we have 90 degrees, and here we have 87 degrees, and here we have 1 moon-earth unit. And then I ask them, okay, what do we have here where those 2 lines cross? And of course here we have the sun. Here the sun comes. And then I say, okay, what could he do now with this triangle? He can now find out how many moon-earth units goes into this distance. This distance, of course, is the sun-earth distance. Here we have the earth, here we have the sun. And I ask them to do that, and they find 17 times, 16 times, 18 times, 20 times, and I tell him that Aristarch did find out that you have 19 moon-Earth units in one sun-Earth unit. So what did he know now? He knew the distance from the Earth to the Sun is 19 times the distance from the Earth to the Moon. Then they say, that's not right. And I say, no, that's not right. But why isn't that right? Did he think in a wrong way? Is there something in his way to think about this construction that is not true? No, that's not. This is actually thought completely right. But what Aristarch couldn't do really precise was measuring this angle, because this angle is not 87 degrees, it is something like 89.9 degrees. And actually this distance, one Sun-Earth distance, is not going to be 19 Moon-Earth distances. This distance is going to be about 390 Moon-Earth distances. And then I asked the students, how can that be that such a little fall? It is not much, it is only 3 degrees. That will make a failure which is about 20 times. How can this be? And it actually often takes quite a lot of time before a student says it is because 19, when you open this angle to 89.9 degrees, you will have almost parallel lines which never will cross, which never will intersect. And therefore the point of intersection, just when you open a little bit more, it moves far, far beyond. This is a very interesting thing for students to observe, and especially it is really nice for them to see that he actually thought in the right way, but because of this attributes of this intersection point, this little fall will have such a big impact. So before we say goodbye, we just summarize. Aristarch used this half-moon experience to conclude about the distance between Moon, Sun and Earth. And then I tell the students there was another observation in the universe that Aristarch was interested in, and that gave him information about the size of the Moon to the Sun. How big is the Moon compared to the Sun? And I say to them, well, of course you can think a little bit about what kind of observation could be used for that. And then I leave the students with this question in mind, which really is motivating for them, because then they just have the urge to find out. And in the next video I will show you how this goes further. See you then.